From the Riffs!
Welcome to From the Riffs. I'm Carmen Blair, back with you with Kevin Siembieda for our part 2 of our interview with him. Big Will's not here today because this is the last day of the open house, and he had to leave. So we're going to go over it with you. Both my voice and Kevin's voice are really raw. That's because we've been yelling, screaming, having a good time, talking with everybody, and it's just done a damage to the vocal cords today. So we're going to ask Kevin about what he ran at the open house now. We've already heard about the rest of it. Heard nothing but good things about his games, and although I didn't get to see any of them that were going on, and so it'd be my first time hearing it too, everyone else was raving about it. And it'll also give you an insight to the other kinds of games that were ran at him, and give you an idea that if you can get to an open house, the kind of things you could sit down with Kevin. All right, I'll let you run with it.
Thanks. Well, I'm glad to hear that you heard good things about it, Carmen, because you always wonder. And in fact, at conventions and at the open house, I always worry because I'm so tired to begin with, and then there's so many other demands. I often wonder, am I on? Because you want people to have a good time. And boy, I felt really on when I was running these games this year. And everyone seemed to have just a super great time. A couple of people said it was like the best game they'd ever played in. And I'm like, wow. So at a typical open house, first of all, we run everything. It's 99% Palladium, so you can play any kind of Palladium role-playing game that we produce, every setting from Rifts to Recon and everything in between. For years, I've been running a regular tournament game called Lord Ahsoka, and it was originally conceived as a Halloween gaming event at the Old Detroit Gaming Center in 1982, I believe. We used to run an Oktoberfest where we'd have 500-600 people come in for a weekend. The Old Gaming Center was this really big facility, 10,000 square feet, and it used to be great. And I've played this tournament game off and on for the last 25-30 years, and I always get a kick out of seeing how other people play the same characters in the same environment, and it's always a crowd pleaser. The concept behind the Basilica game is that Lord Ahsoka is this evil tyrant who's been ruling this city-state for a couple of generations with an iron fist, and he's just this rotten son of a gun who consorts with demons and even has become a partial demon himself. He's got this jack-o'-lantern head, and he's got these demonic servants. And
just a little over the top there.
A little over the top, but it looks cool. And I originally did the art, and originally Lord Ahsoka, the with the pumpkin head, it was part of the poster for the gaming center, and people loved it. But yeah, it's definitely over the top, and it's a real time thing because the situation is set up where Lord Ahsoka has made a deal with the Lords of Hell to become a new Lord of Hell himself, and to consummate this, he needs to perform this particular ritual, and at the strike of midnight, he has to kill this innocent person at the end of this ritual. And if he succeeds, he will be able to teleport himself and the entire city-state and everyone in it, including the heroes trying to stop him, into the pits of hell, where they become his first minions and slaves.
So it's really time sensitive. So is it minute by minute?
It's minute by minute. You actually have 2 hours to play.
2 hours worth of time.
2 hours of real time.
Oh, that's cool.
It is. It's cool. Really cool. And so the clock stays. And of course, one of the devices in the game is Lord Ahsoka tries to delay everything. So there's all kinds of red herrings and lures to distract the characters. So anyway, I've been running this for years. I must have run it 50, 60 times. A lot of people at previous open houses have played it. And 9.5% of the time, the group stops Lord Ahsoka, saves the day, and everything's wonderful. And for some reason, I don't know, it just struck me this year, what happens after that? Because you have this guy who is this vicious monster who ran this town, like I said, with an iron fist for a couple of generations. He's suddenly gone.
Yeah.
There's going to be this power vacuum. They're going to have these demons and stuff running around. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to run a series of games after Lord Ahsoka is slain? and it picks up shortly afterwards where our heroes have they've killed Lord Ahsoka. They have the human sacrifice, which it's a virgin, and everyone assumes it's a beautiful woman. And in fact, one of the red herrings that is supposed to lure people away and make them think that they perhaps have defeated Lord Ahsoka is they find this beautiful woman in chains and with a succubus next to her, which you have to fight and destroy. And of course, she's pretending to be human and trying to lead them away. And so the heroes will be leading this woman away, and then one will say, "Great, thank you so much for saving me. It's wonderful, but what about the little boy?" And they're like, "Little boy," and so the first. So we have this sequence of 6 adventures. What I ran this time, and so our heroes. It's the same group of heroes. They have the little boy who just wants to find mommy, who's not from around here. So they can't just take him home. And of course they were like questioning the kid and stuff like what's mommy's last name? Mommy? No. What's her last name? Mommy? Yeah. And they're like, duh. And they're showing the kid around all over the place to everybody. Do you know this child? Help us find his mother. And everyone's like, we've never seen this kid before. They don't know who his mother would be. And while they're doing this, there's this explosion and this fire pops up, and the kid's like, "Oh, maybe that's mommy." And before they can even kind of think about that, all these demons start to run through the streets, and they're chasing the town people. Because of Lord Ahsoka present, demons are just running amok. So, game 1 of this year's series of tournament games that I'm running, they have to fight these demons because demons are running amok. At the end of that adventure, they find out, or they start to get hints that this kid is not human, and it kind of ends there. And the heroes, they saved the town, they defeated the demons, and I ran like 1.5 to 2 hour episodes. This open house. And so the next group comes in, and they get the exact same character sheets, the exact same characters. I prime them, so like what you guys just heard. And it picks up where the last group left off. And so these guys figure out that the little boy is actually a baby dragon.
Okay.
I mean, really baby. I mean, he's young, and he doesn't know anything, and he's like a little kid. And, and this all makes sense, because if you are creating a ritual in which you're taking this entire city-state and literally thousands and thousands of people into the pits of hell, sacrificing as an ordinary person isn't going to do it.
Yeah, you need the most powerful PPE released and the double
you got it. Exactly.
Open the gate.
So, they're like, oh wow. Well, this adventure, a lot of it pertains to. There's a bounty on the kid's head, 300,000 gold. So there's lots of people trying to kidnap this kid and take him to somebody. And of course, the question is, well, why? Lord Ahsoka's dead. Why is this kid so valuable? True, he's a dragon, but really, 300,000 gold? And so there's all kinds of fun and mayhem where these thieves and assassins grab the kid, and our heroes are chasing them down, and there's some other stuff in between. And it was great. And that adventure ended with a couple lightning bolts hitting the... I forgot. Actually, sorry. It ended.
Sounded pretty cool without the forgot.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty epic. They find out that the guy, one of the guys, because there's a couple of 2-3 different forces that are trying to buy this kid, and one of the guys is Belloc, the Soul Stealer. And they find out where Belloc is because they figure they got to go check him out and find out what's going on. And they get a bunch of information, but they have to deal with a bunch of other things, and mainly rescuing the kid. And they have the kid, and they're thinking of going to Belloc's when there's these lightning bolts hitting a town, and one end of the town is catching on fire, and there's this figure that is bellowing in louder than human voice, "Where's my son? Give me my son!" And that adventure ends there. The next group, well, actually it didn't. I take that back. They realize, they find out that this guy is claims to be the little boy's father. Now, dragon hatchlings, they're hatchlings. They catch from an egg. Yeah. They don't know their father. In the Palladium setting, dragons don't get along with each other that much. There's this huge, tremendous rivalry. and males hate their offspring, and so Daddy wants Junior so he can kill him so he doesn't grow up to be a rival. And the group is like, holy cow, what do we do now? And so they come up with a clever idea, which was beautiful setup for the next group, is they said, hey, well, they try to bluff him in this really kind of outrageous way, and it doesn't really work. Daddy figures it out. And they say, and he's really angry because you tried to trick me. And they're like, well, look, we knew you're this powerful being, and we didn't want you to destroy the town. We're just trying to protect the town. We can tell you where your son is. Which is a lie, of course, because they have him.
Yeah.
And the kid doesn't know. In fact, the kid was hilarious because he's like, boy, I'm sure glad that guy isn't my daddy. And the group just all kind of looks at him like, oh, yeah, kid. And so they say, Belloc, the Soul Stealer, has him. And we can tell you exactly where to go to get him. And now the Soul Stealer has been reputed to be as powerful and evil as Lord Ahsoka. So the group's idea is that if they can pit the adult dragon against the Soul Stealer, there'll be this epic battle. One of them will get killed, and while the other one's weakened, they'll jump him and kill him because clearly he's a bad guy and trying to fill this power vacuum and take over the town. It's a great idea.
So which one does that one end? So
that ends there with them sending the dragon off.
So is that the second game?
That's the second game.
That's only the second game.
That's only the second game.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. That's only the second game. Unfortunately, we'll have to cut it there because we're going to run out of the YouTube time limit.
Oh,
and I guess we're going to have to do a third part. I'm sure everybody won't mind. Because that was so epic that me and Kevin was just running on, and I'm trying to keep an eye on the time so we don't run over. So we'll come back with a part 3. I'm Carmen Belair.
Kevin Siembieda.
And we'll be back from the riffs.